Mickey. It's time for your vet appointment. Are you ready? Huh? Okay, you just woke up from your nap in perfect time. So I'm used to Banfield being inside of PetSmart, so it's interesting to be going to a location that's just actually just an independent hospital, pet hospital that looks like it's affiliated with Banfield, which kind of confirms some of my feelings about Banfield. But we're going to go ahead, get him checked in because he has about 15 minutes till his appointment time. Mickey, go in there. Oh, go ahead, get in there. Get all the way in there. Good boy. Here's another one. Good boy. You're such a sweet kitty. Alright, we're gonna close you up here. So my misgivings about Banfield continue. The main reason I came here is because they already have his vaccinations on record, and I kind of just want to finish his vaccination process with Banfield, but I don't think I'm going to use them for his neutering and microchip services. They're just so big business, it doesn't feel personal. I don't feel... It's not even that the people aren't sweet, but just even the way, and I understand COVID is making things more complicated, but I'm just not getting a good feeling about Banfield, and Mickey's my baby, so, I don't like the idea of taking him places I don't have a good feeling about, just in general as an overall solution. I'm just not feeling the whole Banfield thing. So there's a lady right there in red who's been waiting for her pet since before I brought Mickey in. Mickey had an appointment at 3:15. I was here at 2:55, called, got put on hold. So then I'm on hold until almost 3:20. I'm lying. I got put on hold. They answered me. I told them why I was here. And they said, oh, we should have you checked in by 3:10. We'll call you back. And again, I realized it's kind of rough. They're doing the whole COVID safety thing, etc., etc. So I'm standing out here with Mickey. He already doesn't understand why he's stuck in his carrier. When we're moving, he doesn't make noise. But when the carrier's just sitting still and nothing's happening, he's just meow, meow. Mom, why am I in here? I want to get out. And so that happened. And so at about 3:22, they finally called me because I was about to call and be like, did you guys forget I was out here? And I go to the side door to drop him off. Now there's 2 people out there waiting for their pets. Also, when I called and I was like, I have an appointment at 3:15, and they were like, how's Peanut doing? And I was like, who's Peanut? And I'm like, I have a cat. His name is Mickey. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. There's 3:15 appointments, and you didn't confirm which one was mine. And she was like, oh, that's a completely different doctor. And that's when she was like, I'll call you back in a second. And that whole process started. So then they did call me back. She came to the side door. She got Mickey, and then she gave me a little slip of paper that told me how to put my payment information into the system. So obviously, so they can charge me. Vet visits are stressful enough during normal times, and I got my pet during COVID, so I haven't really gotten to experience taking him into the vet, having a one-on-one conversation, feeling connected to this person that's taking care of my animal, and just feeling good about it. Because right now I don't feel good about anything. I'm just worried. But anyway, take a look back at Mickey's first visit to the vet, because I do have footage of that. At least in that case, with it being in a PetSmart, I got to go in with him. I got to sit with him while he was waiting for the doctor. And right now, I'm just worried that he's, sitting in his carrier on a countertop somewhere crying, and I just don't like that. So Mickey here is about to go to the vet. He doesn't know what a vet is. He's never been to one. Go over there. There we go. He's over there. And so we'll see how he reacts to it. Since it's basically, since the vet is foreign territory to him, we'll see how he reacts to it. He's just being Mickey. And see how it goes. Come on, Mickey. Come on out. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, Mickey. Come on. Good kitty. Right, Mickey and I are back in the van, and there was so much going on that I couldn't really record. Because of COVID-19, they come get the pet now, and they take the pet to the back, and you can't even go back with them. Apparently he was all cool and well and crawling on people's shoulders until they stuck him with the needle, and then he was like, no. We're done. And he apparently flipped out on them. Because the vet basically called me after his session and we got to talk a little bit. She did advise a mixed dry and wet food diet. So I've heard a lot of advice both ways, and dry and wet and dry. She did say, when I was asking questions, if he's used to dry, sometimes if you introduce wet food later, they reject it because they're not used to it. And so you get the cat that hates anything but dry food and won't eat the wet. And the reverse can happen. Since he's had a mix of wet and dry, that's not going to be a problem. But I did get him specifically some kitten food because she says, which I've also heard from a lot of you guys, that the nutrients in kitten food, it's not a huge deal, but there are better nutrients in kitten food. He did get a vet. He is going to need flea treatments. Apparently, he does have some fleas. I don't notice him scratching a lot, which is, I was surprised about this nut job. Come here, crazy. So we got a flea treatment for him that I need to get from the vet every month, and it's just a spinal treatment. He's still springy and happy and mostly not showing any signs of any sort of distress. Even her saying he has some flea issues, I'm he's not really scratching at himself that much. But it does also make me want to wash my hair more and make sure none of that is getting passed on. Hi, baby. You guys can't see him, but he's right there. He was just looking at me. So it's October 9th, the day me and Mickey were supposed to be leaving Baltimore and sort of making our way west. And we haven't left yet, mostly because after he got, a diagnosis of having some fleas, the doctor was like, he's already traumatized, do his flea treatment tomorrow. But just putting, the flea treatment on Mickey when he's been laying all over the van and everything, isn't enough. I also need to treat the whole van basically. So I took it a couple steps further. First thing we did this morning was go to the car wash. I washed the outside of the car while we were there, but the biggest thing I wanted to do was pull everything out and vacuum the floor thoroughly, which I did. I also bought some spray that I can't find at the moment, some flea spray, and I kind of sprayed everything down. In addition to that, while I was doing the vacuuming, in fact, just before it, I pulled all of the fabrics off of my bed. I pulled his bedding. And what I still need to do tonight, so I'm definitely not leaving here today, is wash the laundry, and his bedding and my bedding and basically all of the fabrics that he was possibly exposed to. Anything I can't pull up and wash has been sprayed down. The carpet has been sprayed. While he was not in the van, he was not happy. He was in his carrier sitting on the grass outside of the van, and he was definitely not happy. I went to a car wash place with a dog wash, and I washed him in the dog wash, even though he's a cat. And I felt so bad. Like, oh my gosh, I felt like I was torturing this cat. Like, I hated every second of it, and I knew I had to do it. So we gave him a good, like, flea bath with a gentle solution. All I did was use the rinse water, and I poured it over his head. I didn't spray water directly on him because cats already don't like getting wet, and a pressure wash would have been worse. So I took my little bucket that I usually wash in, and I put the water in there along with the soap, and then I wiped him down with a cloth, and then I poured water again. I rinsed that out, put some rinse water in that bucket, and then poured it on him, and then did my best to pat him dry, and I let him air dry the rest of the way. He was not a happy cat, though. I'm surprised he's still been curled up next to me, though, since it happened, because I thought he was going to hide and not trust me for a while, but he seemed to be okay. Sorry, I just wanted to check and make sure I hadn't left something running. But he seems to be okay. He seems to be, like, forgiving me for what happened today. I thought he was going to be, like, super traumatized, but he seems to have forgiven me for the events of this morning. I still need to exercise. It's almost 4 o'clock. I need to do that while the sun's out, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to grab, what's my word? I'm going to go to a park, find a park nearby, go there, do my exercises, and then go to the laundromat. Everything is in plastic bags in the back of the van. I don't know how well you can tell, but the whole back of the van is pretty much plastic bags at this point. But I did what I had to do as a pet owner, and it's hard sometimes, because sometimes you have to make the pet miserable for their long-term health. Like, he didn't like getting a shot yesterday, and he had to get it. All right.
Okay, here's your kitty. Maybe a little sleepier later on. So there's one more appointment that needs to be done. We sort of went ahead and made your appointment, so if it's not good, you can give us a call back and change the date. But
how you doing, babe? How you doing? So he seems to be okay. I was told he might be a little bit out of it, but he seems like a Mickey. You seem like a Mickey. Come here. I know. Here. You get that just because that was not fun. He seems to be okay. They've already set an appointment for me. So we'll be doing that December 11th. We'll just come back here. We'll see the same doctor. I assume. And so he'll get his rabies shot. And one other thing that I unfortunately can't remember, but it should be in all his records online. The new doctor should have recorded the stuff. So we've gotten through. There he is. Hi, Mickey. How you doing, buddy? We've gotten through yet another vet visit, and he's fine. He seems to be fine. I was really worried. I like a joke, but he seems to be fine. He seems to be doing good. He's acting like a Mickey, and that's all I ask.